Back here at Preston New Road anti-fracking camp, or Logic Land as it's been known. This is my old friend here. Well, I say old friend, we've known each other about 3 years, so I haven't know Bob, but this is Bob Dennett, top lad. So we're here at the PNR camp. Can you try and just explain to us why this camp is actually here?
We have to have a camp to keep people together, to bring the like-minded spirits together, so that they have somewhere to rest and keep warm and feed, and we're close to the action being the proposed site, so that if anything is going on, we can get there quickly, or these lads can get there quickly, and they haven't got far to go when they finish what they're doing to come back and get back into the war, because it's, you know, this time of year it's pretty dire. I couldn't do what these guys do. I couldn't do that in the cold like this, or do the lock-ons. I don't have the stamina for it. But every respect to those that can.
Yeah. So you've been involved from I think about six years or so now, haven't you? So where did you first hear of fracking, and where, you know, what was it, Balkan or something that you?
No, actually, I used to travel a lot. I used to work away from home a lot, and I'd stay in hotels, and I'd be working away with the television on, and there was an American drama series called CSI that was based in Las Vegas, Crime Scene Investigation.
Okay.
And this was back in 2006, 2007. And of course fracking was in its infancy in the States then, but Jerry Bruckheimer realised what was going on and saw fit to create a couple of episodes of his TV series around it. So I'd never heard the word before, so I thought, I'll have a look into that. So I did a bit of research into it, never for 1 minute imagining that this would turn up on my doorstep. And then I retired, and we knew there was a company around here exploring for gas, but everybody assumed that it was British Gas, doing the same as they did in Ellswick, conventional gas.
Yep.
And then, of course, I was woken up at 2:30 in the morning on the 1st of April 2011 by an earthquake. 2 days later, it transpired that it was this gas exploration company and that they were fracking. So then I did a lot more research into it. I approached the local authority in Ray Green and said, you know, can we set up a meeting to talk about this? And then I bumped into Gazer. And then I became part of the movement because he was setting up the local movement.
So, what is fracking?
Fracking. It's a short name for slick water, high volume hydraulic fracturing. And what they're trying to do is to extract gas that is contained in microscopic fissures in the shale bed that lies beneath our feet. It's about a kilometre and a half down below ground.
So fair way.
And the shale layer here is one of the thickest in the world. It's 2 kilometres thick.
Wow.
So what they all will do is they will drill down to the bottom of the shale, then they'll pull the drill back up and they will drill horizontally again for another perhaps 2 kilometres.
So like an octopus?
Yeah, a bit like an octopus. Yeah, they'll fan out. There'll be hundreds of wells. In fact, according to Professor Andy Applin from Durham University, to extract the gas that Quadrilla say they can extract, they would need 44,000 wells in Lancashire alone.
Wow.
And of course, we know that certainly 60-some% of this country is being licensed for unconventional gas extraction of one sort or another.
So 44,000 wells in Lancashire alone?
In Lancashire alone.
Wow.
And where's most of the available land in Lancashire? In the Fylde.
Yep.
Because, you know, the rest of it's up in the hills or the lakes. It's your worst nightmare. It doesn't bear thinking about.
So, the dangers involved with fracking, I mean, you know, they pump lots of chemicals into these wells that then fractures the shale, which then releases the gas. The dangers are in those chemicals, the water.
Absolutely.
I mean, I led to believe that there is nowhere in the UK that can actually treat the frack water that comes back?
Well, there's 4 sites that are licensed to treat it, but they can't treat the radioactivity. They can take solids out of it, and those solids could be sand or any other solids that come back up. They push a cocktail, a slurry of sand, water, and chemicals down into into the borehole under immense pressure, 15,000 pounds per square inch, in order to fracture the shale and to open up those microscopic fissures that I spoke about just now, and let sand in, so that sand will, what they refer to as a proppant, will prop those holes, those fissures open to allow the gas to flow back out.
Right.
Prior to doing that, of course, they have to drill horizontally for approximately 2 kilometres, and then they have to create initial fractures in the shale, and to do that they use explosives.
Wow.
Now, the industry aren't admitting to it, but we know that there are many patents for the use of depleted uranium as to create those fissures, those initial fissures. They use depleted uranium because it operates at twice the pressure of conventional explosives, and therefore they get a much longer and wider initial fracture to get their water into.
Right.
That's radioactive. It's one of the most destructive radioactive substances in terms of human health on the planet. Just Google depleted uranium and Iraq, and you'll see the devastation that has caused there, the mutated births that it has created. Soldiers, British soldiers that fought in Iraq, and I'm talking about men, are coming home from Iraq having been contaminated with depleted uranium, and their future children are being born disfigured and mutated.
Wow.
As a result of their father's contamination, not their mothers, their fathers. Most women that have been out in Iraq and been contaminated with depleted uranium will never be able to have children.
Wow.
So that's just one thing. Then when this water comes back, it brings back, there's only about 40% of it actually comes back.
And the industry themselves admit that as well, don't they?
Yes, those are the figures that came from Priest Hall actually.
Right.
And we've worked out the flowback volumes based on the Priest Hall figures. The water that comes back doesn't only contain the chemicals that they put down there in the first place, but it brings back lots of stuff. And to quote Tony Ingraffia, a professor in the USA who's an expert in this process of fracking, it's bringing back stuff that does not belong in the human environment. And we're talking about heavy metals, things like degradation products of uranium and uranium itself. Wow. And then they have to dispose of that liquid. Well, as I said, there are only 4 sites in the UK currently licensed to handle it. They can extract, a lot of the pollution can be extracted by centrifugal processes, but you can't get rid of the radiation. So what they're then doing is diluting it, and they're going to dispose of it in local water courses. That's Francis Egan's words.
Right.
So basically, I think we're talking about the River Ribble.
So they kind of class that as background radiation then, don't they? When they dilute it.
No, they call that norm.
Norm, that's the word.
Normally occurring radioactive material. It's a nice fluffy little word for people.
It sounds safe, doesn't it?
It does sound safe, yes.
So
everywhere this process has taken place, there have been cancer clusters. There have been neurological clusters and neurological disorders, wildlife, livestock, and human birth defects. This is your worst nightmare. And we said no. Lancashire said no.
Yep.
Democratically, we said no. But this fascist government overturned that because they're so determined to go ahead with this. And at the end of the day, This isn't really about gas. They can't make a profit on the gas with the oil prices as they are now. They won't make much profit on the chemicals that they get. So there has to be an end game.
And that is?
And the end game is to use redundant boreholes to dispose of the huge stocks of nuclear waste that we have in this country.
And we can prove that?
We have the documents, government documents, to prove that, yes.
Wow. So, as I ask everybody, Bob, if you had a message to have people come down to Logic Land or get involved with fracking, what would that be?
Please, research fracking. Do your own research. Don't accept what I say, and don't accept what you see in the media or on the television. What you see on the television and in the media is pure PR speak. Okay, it could be said that I'm biased, but I have no financial or any sort of personal interest in this except to save the environment for our future generations. Please, Google fracking, do your own research, and come and join us, because this will affect everybody in the whole of the UK. Irrespective of where you live, it will still affect you.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.